Alright, what's up everybody? This is Joe from Support and Resistance Trading. I wanted to put a video together. A lot of people have been asking me about how I set up my platform that you're staring at right now on Thinkorswim and how did I link everything. So I'm just going to literally talk you through step by step how I set up my platform. Okay, so when you first actually log into your Thinkorswim, there could be so many ways this thing is set up, and you start from scratch. And I'm going to start with the chart first and kind of just bounce around. So I set up my chart. I like the candles filled in. So if you don't know how to do that, you go up here to the style. Okay, you click settings. All right, we go to appearances. Okay, I like to fill in mine. I like to show the wicks. Okay, I like to make sure they're green. If you want to change, I make sure they're bright green, not like that weird hunter green that they kind of come up with. I also like to make my volume bars in presence with the actual color. Okay, and I leave my it's like a neutral bar as like a gray, and I think you can do that here. It says color symbols as ticks, so that's why I have the red and the right. I don't leave it as the blue. Okay, so that's how I set up just the actual charts, the candlesticks. I also use candlesticks and not bars or the line graph. Japanese candlesticks is the way I've learned to trade, and I really haven't learned to trade any other way. Okay, so that's specifically just for the chart setup. Now I use the 1 minute chart. I will go to the 5 very rarely. I'll obviously use the daily in here, and you'll see my daily's yellow, and I'll explain a little bit why it's yellow. So that's really kind of the only two I honestly use. Now for indicators, I had a whole separate indicator video, but the indicators that I actually have on my chart, we're going to go back to the single 1 minute. The indicators that I use on my chart. So I use volume, okay, and I have this script built in here from somebody in our chat room, Voya. He sent it to me, I believe, or Milton or Omar. I don't know whoever built this, but I have this. This is separate. This is a separate script that gives you the daily average, today's average bar, how much percent of that is normal, average 30 bars, and then the current bar of volume. Okay, so I use volume on the bottom. On my actual chart, I use the 50 EMA. This is the VWAP, and I use the opening candle. Okay, you'll see this white line down here. That is a script for the first candle, the 4 a.m. candle, to put in a line there. So how do you go to that? You go to Studies. You hit Edit Studies. Okay, and I have exponential moving average, so you can write exponential. I click this. I switch my settings over here. I make mine blue, just something completely different, and I leave it a straight line. I hit OK, and I hit Exit. Next one I put in VWAP. Now, when you first set up the VWAP, you're going to have an upper and lower band that pop up. I get rid of those upper and lower bands. I just leave the regular VWAP, and I leave it as the 2-day, the initial way, the deviation that it's set up. It works great. I put that as orange, and I make it a dashed line, something completely different. Okay, I hit OK. All right, we leave that. Now I have Voya's thing that he sent me, which was the 4 a.m. candle, and I have that. The other one is Enigma Trades, which I think came from one of the groups, and that is my volume, and that's all I leave. I hit apply, okay, and there we go. This is how my chart is set up. Okay, so I don't use the flex grid. I do the flex grid when I'm home, and I kind of bounce back and forth between the flex grid and the charts. But so what I do is I leave the flex grid up. Okay, and I put this thing over here to 2. So I leave this as 2. So I set my flex grid up as 1. I click the chart, and I have the time of sales. So this time of sales right now is linked to this chart. Okay, time of sales linked to this chart. On my second one, I have an active trader. Okay, so I put the active trader up, and I've set this up in the settings. By clicking this, I have the buy ask, the sell bid, sell market, quantity, buttons, the order template, and the auto on and off if you want to leave it as on and off. And I've also adjusted these here. So if I click settings here, I hit customize, and I've set these. I got volume, buy order, size, price, ask size, sell orders, P&L at open, and I leave those, and I've kind of adjusted them so I can see these pricing. I can see the actual bids here, all right, on size, and I can sell over here, and when I actually am in a position, my P&L will be over here, green above, or red below, and I can put in my stop orders right on this chart. So if you click over here, you can put in a sell stop, or you can put in a limit, and you can come over here and you click in the limit or market or whatever type of sell, to lock in your profits. So that's how I have this set up. Okay, over here, linked to the active trader, I have a position watch list. Now you literally just click watch list, like down here, you hit add and you make a watch list, and then I set this up over here, and I'm going to click these so you guys can see, so people can, if I can click this, customize. So hard to see. I have symbol, position quantity, how many quantities of the contract that I have, P&L at op day, P&L open, P&L percentage, bid, and the ask of the contract. So when I'm in a contract, it will pop up over here, and I don't have to go over to my monitor section. I can access everything from my charting right over here on the side. I can click it, and what it will do is as soon as I click it, it will link it to my active trader. Okay, and how did I get this in my active trader? Right? How did I get this? Well, I go to my trade, okay, and I wait for something. Here, we're just on the video. I will click over here, whatever I'm looking at, I will right click on either the put or the call side, copy, charts, over here, paste it, and boom. So now this is set up with whatever I'm watching. Okay, I'm watching a put right now, say on the video, have the video chart up, I'm waiting, and I would click over here to buy and sell, whatever I'm trying to do of this put. Okay, that is linked over here. So once I buy it and I hit confirm, it will pop up over here. The next thing I have is my watch list, which is just my main stocks that I'm watching in the day. Usually it's 10 stocks. I really like to keep it less, and you'll see me in the chat room. I'll blow through them, and it's kind of easy to eliminate something that I'm watching. This will always stay up, but I'll just be bouncing, say, from like Microsoft to Roku and, the Qs or whatever I'm watching for the day. Below that, I have the watch list linked obviously to the chart, right? So when I click the chart, I click my watch list, it links to the chart. That's these little buttons here. You click this and you can link them. So I have this as red, which is linked to the chart, which is linked to my my level 2 of whatever's on the chart. So my level 2 is not linked to my options contract. Okay. Last one at the bottom, I have a time of sales of the actual option that I'm watching, and I usually do to pull this up. So this is the options, okay, of the contract. So you can see right here, you can see all the volume. See, we were talking about a put. This blew through this support, and we're coming down to retest this other support and the VWAP, which is right around here. So you can see people are jumping in, and this is what you're looking for, right? You're seeing people on the green means people are buying these, not selling these. So I leave this up as well. This is yellow, which is the same as my account, which is the same as this active trader that's going on over here. Okay, so this is basically how I set everything up. I've taken this bar over here and I've kind of squeezed everything on this side. Now, normally, see this like black space next to these numbers? You may have the same thing on your chart over here. If that happens, right, you want to go to Studies, Edit Studies, and on like your bottom one, for example, if you click this, you may have this left axis clicked. Make sure that is unclicked. Make sure obviously you hit OK and you're applying it. If not, you'll get this massive black bar on the left-hand side over here, and it's really frustrating. You're losing kind of all this space. So, make sure you actually set that up. For my trades, right, when I'm in here, you see what I have going on. Quickly, I have a 1-minute chart of whatever I'm watching. That is the same chart and the same like indicators as my other one. I do have the 9 on here because I haven't changed this because I barely use it. Over here, I have the daily, I think. Oh no, I have a 5-minute of that same 2 charts, right? On that one, you can switch this by adding these right here. So you have the grid. I have the news. I have the level 2 of that same one, which you can already see over here. So again, I'm not in here much anymore. I used to use this more. And then what I did was, you can see I've limited my positions, like how much contracts I see, since I'm mostly buying the weeklies. I click this expiration and I put it to minimum to 30 days out, and I just leave the regulars. I don't want all the other stuff, going on, and I leave it as single. And usually I'm in this week, or the following week's contracts. All right. I don't leave all the other ones. It just kind of takes up space, and I really don't care. What I care about that's actually on my options, I have the bid, the ask, the delta, volume, net change, and last. Boom, that's it. I don't keep any of the other Greeks. I've talked about this in previous videos. I used to keep the fade and stuff up there and all the other stuff, but I try to keep it minimal. I'm literally just looking at the delta. I usually don't even look because usually one of these two, are the two that I'm actually watching, and that's kind of it. I do look at the volume. All right, you see more. There's more volume on the call side. for whatever Facebook is, because people, it's above the VWAP, so obviously people want it to go long. So that's pretty much how I set up my options chain. Really, really not hard. I don't overcomplicate it, because again, I've kind of set up everything so I'm over here, trading on my active trader, because I can watch everything right at once. My eyes are on one screen. I don't have to bounce back and forth between other screens. When I trade at home, I will trade on my other monitors, which will have like the SPY up on one, and I will have another chart kind of set up like this, mirrored on a different one, so I can watch 2 stocks at once. But pretty much this is it. I trade mostly from work, so this is the setup. I try to keep it as simple as possible. I wish there was just ever so slightly more room for me to be watching the SPY at the same time, because I find myself going from, say, Facebook and into the SPY and vice versa throughout the day. But this is it, guys. If you have any questions, just comment below and I can try to answer them. Or if you want, you can find me in the Discord chat room. If you want to join us, just let me know. We are in the support and resistance mob chat room, okay? If you want to find me, I am SNR Trading. So right here, SNR Trading. Private message me and I will get you in here. Or if you want, just private message me and I can talk you through if you want to set up your list like mine. Or if you want it exactly like mine, private message me and I'll send you a shared thing. I can come up here to the setup and I can share my workplace with you, so you can just really just duplicate everything. You don't have to set it up if that's what you want. So I don't keep it complicated. I don't leave my account info down. I don't need to see this. It's not helping me, since I do leave it obviously blocked out since I'm making YouTube videos, but like it's just taking up space. I leave that up. I try to squeeze these up as much, because normally I'm in one at once. I wish I could make this even tighter, but you can't. My watch list, and I'll scroll through. I just use the arrow keys to move up and down on my keyboard, right? So it's a little bit faster. Level 2 again linked, and this is whatever contract I'm watching at the time. So the only time I really got to go into the trade is to figure out what contract, and then everything else is set up, and I'm kind of just waiting. And my fingers over here waiting to either buy or sell or put in an order, a limit order out there. So again, if you have any questions, just ask me. And this is exactly how I set up my charts. The last thing quickly I forgot to explain, if you want to set in these price lines, literally just click over here, you hit price level, and then you click on the chart. For example, if I want to put a price level at the VWAP right here, I'm going to come over here, boom, there it is. If I wasn't perfectly happy, I can right click, edit properties. Maybe I didn't want it at 02, I want it at 125. I do 125, okay, boom, and now it's there. Okay, so this is it. This is exactly how I set everything up, guys. I'm kind of just zooming in and out. The last thing that I don't think I explained is, I believe in style, you hit settings. For my time axis, see here, keep zoom. So I leave that checked, because like if I'm zoomed in on an area, say on Microsoft, and then I go to the Qs, right, and then I want to come back to Microsoft, I don't want to have to. I don't want to be like all the way out here and be like, oh man, I got to zoom back in again. I just leave it zoomed in if that's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting for this VWAP test. Like I'll just leave this zoomed in. All right, the last thing I kind of have set up. Again, if you have any questions, comment below, and please like and subscribe, guys. I really appreciate it. If you're watching my other challenge, we're on day 2. That video will be posted before this, and please check that out. And I will see you all tomorrow. All right, thanks, guys.